Hello, everyone. I am Debbie, and welcome to this postpartum practice. So, this class is meant to be your first practice back. So, please make sure that it's been 6 to 8 weeks at least since you gave birth, and that you're all clear to do exercise, and that you've been cleared by your doctor. And I know you probably want to get moving because 30 minutes is a nice long time to get away, and I commend you on that. I also just want to tell you that I also recently had my baby, and this is exactly what I did, this practice. And I can do much less than I thought I wanted to. And I really, really encourage you to just take it so easy with yourself, as easy as you really can. And also, I don't care how you got that baby out of your body. I'm handing you a virtual medal, an in-person medal right here because you deserve it. Anyone who's carried a baby and somehow gotten it out of their body is a complete and total hero. And only we know what it takes to do that. So I'm just sending you all of my love and all of my support also, so that, I'm a few months out. Everything is going to slow down and get a lot easier very soon. So just hang in there with the sleep deprivation and all of the other goodness that comes with new motherhood, okay? And let's begin. Come into child's pose and start, and just have your body fall down here. Bring your forehead to the floor. I like to have my knees a little bit wide and my feet together so that it's not too much of a forward fold on your spine. And this is a nice unwind for your low back. All the carrying of the baby can really wreak havoc on the back body. So we're going to address that and just take 2 more deep breaths here. And give yourself a moment just to be quiet. And recognize all of the good work you're doing right now, taking care of your baby, maybe more than one, maybe you're balancing multiple children, toddlers. So just give yourself a moment to drop down here and know that you're doing great. Great job. And then slowly, let's rock yourself up and we'll take half dog. You may remember this from prenatal if you did that with me. You can reach your arms forward, keep your thigh bones straight up and down, and bring the forehead towards the floor here, and just long, long arms. And this is to lengthen the spine and the sides of the waist, and I really encourage you to keep practicing when you can. I know it's not easy over the next month because otherwise a lot of what we do as moms can create an imbalance in the body and repetitive stress. So continue to do your practice, and then your shoulders and your back will stay healthy, okay? Now let's walk the hands under our shoulders. And we'll do some cat cows. And remember, exhale and round your back. Open the back body. And inhale. Tuck the chin. Open the belly and the heart and the throat. Exhale, round your back. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, arch your back. And last time, exhale, round your back. And then we'll do some hip circles. So go ahead and circle your hips in one direction and let it feel like a big movement. It's slow and easy. And then change sides. And especially feel for opening the sides of the waist when the hips go to one side or the other. So for opening the sides of the waist, because you're going to get pretty tight after there for a while. And then come back to center now. Nice and easy. Just step your right foot back, pressing to the ball of the right foot, and send your right heel back and open the back of the calf. And then change sides. Press back to the left heel. And then your shoulders may already be getting tired. Just take another deep breath here. Okay? And then change sides again. Send your right foot back. You're going to keep your left hand where it is. Just kick your left foot behind you. Turn your right toes toward the right side of your mat. And then reach your right arm up and over and open the sides, the waist here, the right side of the waist here. And the heart can be open so you're not falling down. You're turned up. left shoulder back, and really reach the right leg away from you. And then circle back, change sides, send your left leg back with a calf stretch, and then kick your right foot behind you. Take the left foot so your toes are pointing towards the left side of your mat, and reach your left arm and send your left thigh bone away so much, and and turn the heart open and reach. This can also feel like a nice shoulder stretch. Get long and really push that right hand and the left foot away from each other. And then slowly come back and push into downward facing dog. Now, usually our feet are hip distance apart, but in down dog for today, I want your feet a little closer together because we want to encourage the coming back together of the bones of the pelvis. So everyone's sort of like flying outward after you give birth. And what we want to encourage in the practice is hugging back in. So feel for lifting the pelvic floor like a Kegels exercise here. And I know your arms may be getting tired, but one more breath. And then bring your knees to the floor, tuck your toes, and sit back on your heels. Take a breath here. And reach your arms up. Inhale, interlace the fingers. Exhale, press the palms up. And then inhale, lift up even more. And then exhale, clasp your hands behind you. Inhale, lift in, open the chest. Exhale, release that. Inhale, reach the arms up, interlace your fingers, and as you exhale, press the arms up. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, release the hands back, clasp the hands. Inhale, lift and open the chest. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach your arms up, interlace two fingers, press palms up, and exhale. Now come to stand on your knees, and this is a side stretch, so I'll turn to you. So you can see, you keep your back, your toes tucked, and they're under in your left hand and your left hip, and reach your right arm up and over. And it's important that you draw your belly in, and if you're feeling more up, and you can bring that left fingertip to your left hip, the back of the left knee, and then come back. Bring your right hand to your right hip, and reach your left arm really into the left side down, and reach that left arm up. And maybe the fingertips can come to the back of the knees, or you can reach and then switch sides one more time. Open the right side, open the left side, keep the belly pulled in. Really want to protect our back. Right now our back is a little bit vulnerable. And then come back to center. Bring your hands to your heart, and let's go back to down dog. Set yourself back to downward facing dog again. Your feet are a little closer than hip distance apart, so you're really inner hip distance apart, and even a tiny bit closer than that. And feel like you're lifting the pelvic floor towards the belly. Long, deep breaths here. Let your head hang down. And then inhale and rock forward to your plank pose. Bring your knees to the floor and walk your hands back so they're under your shoulders. And we'll take a little twist here. So take your left arm under and come to your left shoulder and your right fingertips to the floor and turn to the right. Nice and easy. Don't overdo this. Just remember you're very loosey-goosey, so you need to go easy, go slow. Good. Very good. And then just change sides. On your left hand, scoop your right arm, come on the fingertips, and turn to the left. Bring your left hip back slowly. Deep breaths. It's going to do a lot to restore you because I'm sure that you're very tired. Okay. Slow, deep breaths. Now let's come back up on our hands and knees and go back to downward facing dog just for a transition. We'll lengthen the sides of the waist. Now inhale, lift your right leg up and remember to keep it a little closer than outer hip, so really in towards center almost. And then bring your right foot forward. If you need to, you can grab your right ankle and pull the foot through, but bring your left knee down, okay? And draw the hips back right away, all right? Start to move your right foot forward a little bit, flex the right foot, then stay here and open the spine so the front of the spine is really long. Resist rounding. Dig your right heel into the floor and suck your right heel back into your right. Yep. And keep your heart moving away from your belly. Big breath into the back of the right leg. Good job. Then bend your right knee, step your left knee behind your right knee, and then just come into a cross-legged pose with your right foot on top and twist to your right and draw the back of the spine into the body. And then turn, breathe into the sides of your waist. And just notice you don't want the right ribs flying out to the right. Kind of suck the right side of the waist in towards center a little bit as you twist. Draw your left hip back slightly. And again, nice and easy. It doesn't have to be your deepest pose ever. Good. And then you're going to inhale through center. Exhale and go to your left. This time, inhale, back to center, and exhale. Cross your ankles and step back into downward facing dog. Your left leg's going to go up and back. Exhale and bring the left foot through. Bring your right knee down and draw the hips back right away. Straighten that left leg and take the outer left hip back. It feels like you're like splitting the inner thighs into each other, but spin them into each other. Keep the spine long. Dig your left heel into the floor and suck the left heel back in towards left. Yep. Breathe into the back of the left leg, left hamstrings, and let your shoulders move away from your ears. Remember, when you're feeding your baby, holding your baby, or when you're holding your baby, shoulders away from your ears. Otherwise, they'll be permanently like earrings, and that does not feel good on the upper traps. So I will remind you a lot just to clear the base of the neck and widen the base of the neck. Good job. Bend that a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And then bend your left knee and step your right knee behind your left heel and come into a cross leg. And this time your left foot is on top and you're twisting to the left. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, twist really easy. And I'll encourage you even to bring that twist a little bit up into the upper ribs like you would have done during a prenatal class, and a little bit less in the lower back. And we're going to keep the belly drawn in and then move through center and go to your right. Really easy, slow, deep breaths. And then back to center. Yep, back to center. Then you can cross your ankles. Step forward with your hands, back with your feet. Yep. And then we're back into our downward facing dog. You're going to lift your right leg up and back. And if even lifting the leg is too much, you don't have to do it, but step the right foot forward between the hands. And you're going to bring your left knee to the floor. And then I want you to help yourself. So first, take your hips back a little bit. I don't want you dropping down into the pose at this point. Take your hips back, and when you're using your right hand to your right thigh, and help yourself up, okay? If there's too much pulling here, then you can keep your hands on the floor. All right, otherwise reach your arms up here and then just bring your right form to your right thigh and reach your left arm up and over. And this will open the side body here, and keep lengthening your tailbone. Draw the belly back. Take another big breath here. And then bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and open the chest. Do this anytime you can during the day. Then you're going to clasp your hands and open your chest as often as possible and exhale. Let's come down, bring your hands to the floor, lift your left knee, and then inhale. Just some easy twists here. Open up and exhale, right hand down into downward facing dog. Go easy and step the back feet a little bit closer than usual to each other. Soften your ribs in. So after giving birth, it's very easy to hurt that lower back. So contain that and draw your front ribs in and move your shoulders out of your ears. And then you can lift your left leg and just step the left leg forward. Either way, when your left foot, with your left foot between your hands, your right knee is going to come down, and then pull the hips back from the left hand. Yep, from the left hand, left thigh. Yep. And you can come up from here. You can reach your arms up, draw the belly back a little bit. Stay here for a breath. And then bring your left forearm to your left thigh and reach your right arm up and over and lengthen the tailbone a lot. That's what's going to help open up the front of the hip flexors, which can become very, very tight, especially because you're probably sitting most of the time. You're feeding the baby and you're doing that every 2 hours around the clock. So we need to open the front body. And they're going to clasp your hands behind you, lift and open the chest, and take your fingers the other way. Good. And this time, squeeze the bones towards each other, and you can really even micro bend the elbows, and that'll take a deeper stretch this time. And really hug the hip points, the front of the hip points in towards each other. We want everything coming back together in the pelvis. It's why we're not doing big, big hip openers today, okay? So, hands down, you can step back. Your right hand under your right shoulder, your left arm goes up and easy. Turn the heart open, take the left hip back, and exhale. Now the left hand goes back and go into your downward facing dog. Stay here a moment. And I'm going to lift the right leg up and back and exhale, step the right foot forward. We're going to go into a warrior one. So go along with me, but spin that left heel down, look forward with the right knee bent, draw your right hip back, and then tuck your tailbone, pressing into the back heel. Yep. Bring your hands to your right thigh and help yourself up. I want you to help yourself up because if you just fly up, it's easy to go into the lower back, and the lower back doesn't have a lot of support now because your core strength is still recovering. So again, if you remember in prenatal, we're not going way down. Contain it a little bit. I don't want you dropping down so much. So hug the thigh bones in and circle the pelvis towards center. Reach your arms, then bend your right elbow, grab your right elbow with your left hand. You can stay there, or you can take your left thumb and point it down and clasp hands at the back of the heart. And if you can only do it half of it, that's completely normal. Because again, everything we're doing right now is tightening the shoulders. So just do what you can to open what you can. And if you keep practicing, it'll come. It'll come. Just one more breath here. Soften your front ribs in and release. Bring your right hand to your right thigh and with your left hand to the floor, and then come back to your downward facing dog. Can lift your left heel up and back. Bring your left foot forward, bring your right heel down to the, yep, and then yep. Find like a cobra in the upper back. Bring the left hand to your left thigh, right hand, left thigh, and push up. And if this is too much, pulling on the round ligament, the front of the right hip, bring your feet a lot closer together and you'll be okay from there. Bend your left elbow, catch the left elbow. So this is my really tight side, and this challenges me very much. So turn your right thumb down and then walk your right hand up the back of the heart and clasp hands. And you might feel this one stronger if you're right-handed. So if you notice that you're holding on much tighter on one side than the other, do your best to be conscious of holding your baby on both sides. So really alternate as much as possible, and I promise that should make a huge difference a few months down the road. I've done the research so I can share with you. And one more breath here. And gently release your left hand, your left thigh. Bring your right hand down, and then your left hand and step back into your downward facing dog. And stay here for a few breaths. And then just step your right foot forward and pivot to your left. And so your feet aren't as wide as they can go. So you're a little bit shorter than if you were to put your arms out. The wrist would maybe be 6 inches further. And then you're just going to forward fold. You can grab your feet or your heels if you feel stable. Otherwise, please keep your hands on the floor. Squeeze the sit bones down towards the heels and let your spine and your head hang down. And really just let your head hang down. And then walk your arms forward. Press the thigh bones back. And this will give you great traction in the low back. I mean, even me being 5 months in, this is one of my favorite things to do still, because your baby's only going to get heavier and this little belly is naturally drawn in. You can draw your pelvic floor in, yep, and squeeze. A couple of key goals here. Good job. Just let some space come into the low back. The knees are unlocked. Make sure. Hands are under your shoulders. You can pivot back towards the front end of your mat. Bring your left knee down. Scoot your right foot over to the right a little bit. And bring your forearms to the floor. We're just going to take a few circles here. Good. Just taking a few more circles. We'll do 3 more. And then bring your hands under your shoulders and step your right knee back, stuff your left foot forward, and it's over to the outer edge of the mat on the left side. Bring your elbows down and just take some circles here. So this is about as much of a hip opener as I want you to do right now. 6 weeks out, and I'll have another postnatal practice posted that it might be a little more rigorous than this. But start here, okay? And then bring your hands under your shoulders, take your knees back, and go into your child's pose. And here again, the third eye is on the floor. And walk your hands over to the left and bring your right hand on top of your left and bring the forehead to the floor. And really feel like you're turning towards the left with your torso. Let your right side be heavy. Deep breaths. And then walk your hands over to the right and bring your left hand over your right. The forehead can come down and rest on the left arm. And what we're really feeling for is a stretch in the low left back and the left side waist. But just allow your breath to really drop into it for a moment. It's a good skill, this practice it gives us, because there are so many times that are really challenging, like super challenging in the first 3 months. No matter how happy you are about being a mom, there are times that are hard. And it's always helpful to me to be able to just be in the moment and remember, every moment is precious and we don't get any moments back. And come back to center and bring the third eye to the floor again. So just try to appreciate each one for whatever it is, for the blessing that it is. And then bring your hands under your shoulder and ease your way up. Come onto your left. Yep. Bring your legs out and just take a straddle here. Just a nice little straddle, not a giant straddle. And come forward and down. It's not going to be the easiest on your low back right now. Even if you have to come halfway down your elbows and press back into your sit bones. So it's not your widest straddle, but it's good and it's earthy. And we're just going to take a few more deep breaths here, keeping the shoulders out of the ears. One more deep breath here. And then walk yourself up. Take your inner knees, hug your knees together, and then roll onto your back. Come onto your back. And draw your right knee into your chest. Keep your left knee, bend your left foot on the floor. Sorry. Draw your right knee into your chest and extend the left leg out straight. Yep. Make a basket out of the hands and just breathe into the back of the right thigh, into the right leg. One breath and bend the right knee again. Bend it into your chest and bring your right foot to the floor. Drop your left knee in and extend the right leg out. Extend the left leg up. Again, make a basket around your left hamstring and just draw the leg in. And then hug your left knee into your chest and extend the left leg out. Let your arms and legs fall away. Tuck your shoulder blades towards each other and then lengthen your tailbone out and roll your thigh bones in and out once or twice. Let the legs fall out, let the arms fall out. And for me, because my chest is so tight in these early months, I like to push my arms and put my arms overhead and be in my savasana overhead for just a little bit. So I draw the shoulder blades down and let the floor catch the shoulders, and I'll let the arms rest overhead and just relax completely from there. You can close your eyes, and I would love for you to stay here as long as you can. And if you need to stay here for longer than our 30-minute class, I'll let you go as long as you want. Otherwise, I'll let you know when we're at that 30-minute mark. But for now, just close your eyes and rest your body and know that you're not alone in this process. And sometimes it feels like maybe you're the only one that can feed your baby or soothe your baby, and that can feel isolating and exhausting, but you're not alone. And the time that you're in right now, it's so short and it's going to slow down dramatically in a few weeks. And you just got to keep your eye on the prize and appreciate the blessing of your baby. But also give yourself permission to feel overwhelmed, to feel tired, to feel emotional. It's okay. It is all of these things. It's all of the bliss. But it's also okay to feel like it's really hard. It's okay. It's important to acknowledge the whole spectrum and then let it go. And if you feel too overwhelmed, you need to reach out and get support, more support. But some of the up and down comes with the territory, and that's okay. Hopefully you've dozed off by now. But if you haven't, you have a few more minutes just to relax here. I will let you know when you are at your 30-minute mark. We are right now at that 30-minute mark. So if you need to wrap up your practice, you can join along with me. Otherwise, you can stay where you're at. You can begin by wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, slowly bringing life back into them. When you are ready, you can reach your arms up overhead if you haven't before, and take a deep stretch from the tips of your fingers straight through your body, the tips of your toes. When you're ready to move on from there, you can roll into your right side into the fetal position. Stay there for a moment. And using your left hand, push yourself up, and you can join me taking an easy seat on your mat. So as one mother to another, I honor you. I send you all of my love, all of my support, and you know that we are all in this together, and whatever it is, you can do it. And God bless all of us. Thank you for joining me for these 30 minutes of your postnatal class. Namaste.